The launch of the Crucible League is less than 24 hours away, and there's a lot of new players trying out the game for the first time. And in this video, I want to give you guys some tips and tricks on vendor recipes and crafting that can help jumpstart your progress in the Crucible League. Before we begin, there will be multiple links to multiple creators that have shared their knowledge with me that I'm sharing with you in this video. Without them, I wouldn't know half the stuff, so go show them some love. And maybe even check out some of their starter guides, as they generally have something out around the time for players to use. And let's dive on in. So starting off, I'm going to show you guys some pretty cool crafting recipes that you can use to help you with sustain, resistances, and just general mobility in the early access Path of Exile. For the first tip though, just keep in mind that Quicksilver Flask can fall pretty much anywhere, but in the event that you don't get one, you can get one from Nessa in the first act around level 4, as well as in Act 2 from the Den quest line. And we're going to be covering the Movespeed boost recipe first off. The recipe is very simple. You can do this with any item, and I'm pretty sure that the slots may carry over. For science, we'll see. So that has 3 slots. So we're going to put this there. So a boot, 1 orb of augmentation, and a Quicksilver Flask. And just like that, you have yourself Movespeed boots. This can be very useful because obviously move speed is valuable, and it carried over the slots. I don't know if the slots can be changed or not, but it looks like the slots carried over. So again, you got yourself some MS boots, ignore these, and now you move marginally faster, and it can make your questing a little bit easier. Now another really interesting vendor recipe is one that's used to craft resistance based rings. Early on, you fight Mervelle in Act 1, and she has a lot of cold based spells. So one thing you can do, and you don't necessarily have to just be sapphire rings, but it could be any ring. You find these iron rings all the time. They're relatively common, you should see them, and you can buy one of the gems, or you very likely will find one. And then basically you just add a iron ring, and then you can do one of each color. So for example, this red one will give you a ruby ring for fire resistance. The green one will give you a lightning resistance topaz ring, and then the blue one again will give you a sapphire ring. This is again one of the easiest way I deal with Mervelle early on. I will look for an iron ring or a sapphire ring, put this bad boy on, and then I'll have some cold resistance, and that should be more than good enough for beating Mervelle. Finally, I just want to show one more vendor crafting recipe that I tend to use a lot early on, and that is the mana flask or the health flask. It doesn't matter. If you have one of each type, you can sell it to the vendor, and they'll give you an upgraded version. So as you can see, these are level 12. I get a level 18 one, and I get so much more value out of my flask. Typically I do this with the smaller ones because those like kind of run out really quickly, and then sometimes I have a hard time finding a mana or a health flask early on. But this is a great way of getting an easy flask upgrade without putting too much effort. Alright, so you finished the story, or you're coming close to finishing the story, and it's time to transition into the end game, and let's go over some tips for the early mapping phase of PoE. Now, in Path of Exile, there's such thing called the Chaos Recipe. Chaos Orbs are valuable items that can be used to modify items and weapons, or you can use it as a trade currency. This is going to be more centered towards using it as a trade currency, but you want to get Chaos Orbs so you can do that. Now, an easy way, and probably the easiest way you're going to find a way to get Chaos without too much RNG, is by selling rares to get them. So there's a Chaos Recipe that you can use. And around Act 9 is when I start to pick up rares for this, if I really am like a little low on things. Simply, you just need one of each slot of item to go into the vendor and just sell it to them. So for example, we are placing everything in, and we got 2 Chaos Orbs. Now keep in mind, if these are identified, you'll only get 1, but if they're unidentified, you'll get 2 Chaos Orbs. And this can be done with weapons too. They just need to, you know, be left offhand and main hand if you're doing two weapons. And if you have a bow, I think you can just put the bow in. But again, you can do this, get yourself some easy chaos, and boom, now you have 2 additional chaos plus the one that I started with, and you can maybe get yourself some rings to cover some of your resistances whenever you want to transition into mapping or something. Alright, the next thing, you will notice whenever you kill these major and minor gods, Lunaris, Solaris, the Brian Key in Act 6, Alakari, that they have captures under their main stat. So what this means is you would need to get a divine vessel to capture it to get these effects. For example, at least for me, one really big one is capturing Captain Claiborne, the Accursed, for the 100% chance to avoid being frozen. This one's pretty big. And the way you do this is you need to make a Divine Vessel. Now, I don't think this is particularly good for anyone that's not SSF, as you very likely don't want to spend this much to get a Divine Vessel, and they usually sell for like 1 chaos. But hypothetically, if you're playing solo self-found, you could do this. So you can get 5 flasks, all white. I don't think it matters their level, I'm not sure, but 5 white flasks and then a Divine Orb, and then you can get 5 Divine Vessels. Now, Divine Orbs are very, very costly investment, and again, you can probably get one for 1 fee. Go to the map device, drop this in, put the map in. I don't think he's in this map, I'm just using this example. And when you activate it, you go in, and it'll say, just go in, you kill him, and then you bring it to Sin. Obviously, this failed because, again, he's not in there. But this is just an example of way that you can, 1, craft Divine Vessels if you're solo self-found. Alright, so now you are in the early mapping phase and you want to craft an axe. You have a pretty garbage axe like the one I have here, and you found a Despot axe. This is an unreasonable axe to find. I would look at the item level, at least 71 would be nice. This one's a little higher than normal because obviously I had this in my bank. But I'm going to show you how to craft a okay starter axe for you to do mapping. We're going to scour this, of course, and start it off from the beginning. It can be magic or it can be normal, it's fine, it doesn't matter. So we'll hit it with a transmute, and basically what we're trying to fish for is a flat fizz. So let's look for a good flat fizz on this bad boy. And on average it does take usually 40. I know I ran over a flat fizz, but I mean, I think that's fine for the video anyway, because you'll very likely to be unlucky as I am. Oh, there we go. We have a tier 1 fizz. Not bad. And a pretty good attack speed, tier 2. I'm not sure how common this is, but we got a little lucky. And we did run over a flat fizz already anyway. So from there on, I would just hit it with a Regal. Got some accuracy rating on it. It's not bad. And then now we will craft flat fizz on this bad boy. I mean, a percent physical on it. So I think 4 chaos is not unreasonable. As you can see, got a pretty okay axe. It's not, again, you don't have to craft 4 chaos. I mean, 4 chaos isn't that crazy realistically to have at this point in the game. But yeah, this is a pretty decent starter axe to map with, and then I would probably upgrade the quality maybe. And you have almost a base 334 to 486 with a pretty good attack speed axe. Very easy to craft. Didn't cost that much, what, like 4 or 5 chaos, and you have a pretty easy crafted axe that's gonna be reliably good. But yeah, this is a pretty good starter axe for you to use. This can easily get you through the mapping phase and do, I mean, probably even yellow maps pretty okay. Again, this wasn't, I mean, the fizz is a little bit high, I will admit, but again, that's kind of RNG, right? I can't make the RNG, it just is what it is. There you have it. That is a few easy ways for you to get some early benefit from crafting and take advantage of vendor recipes. When I was new to the game, I wish I had known some of these vendor recipes and crafting techniques, but nonetheless, there you go. This should help you guys out. I will be streaming on this YouTube channel tomorrow for League Start, and should you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. There's a link to my Discord should you want to join that, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video very, very soon.